Hi Scorpio, this is Shah with Ariana Stark with your forecast for September 2025. I will use the Ideal Tarot Love Oracle amongst other decks for your reading this month. For a personalized reading as well as for deck purchase, feel free to reach us at the email address given below. Now let's just get down to your reading. The overall energy from the Ideal Tarot, I do have the Knight of Pentacles. This is dealing with the earth sign, so you may be dealing with Capricorn, Virgo, as well as Taurus. I think you do want harmony in your relationships, but then if you're going to be provoked or if you're going to be pushed to a corner, then you will retaliate. You are not going to like anyone messing up with you personally or professionally. On the work front, also, I think you want the status quo to be maintained, but then scrutiny is also on the cards. Maybe your boss wants to hold meetings with clients, expecting feedback about your progress. Also, the boss could also want to hire someone whom she is well acquainted with, but you will pour water by talking about the lack of qualifications of this person. In essence, Scorpions, you do want things to stay the same. Maybe there are also going to be messages and signs from the universe that you need to pay attention to. The final days of August stepping into September, I do have the Queen of Wands. You are very creative as well as someone who had benefited on account of your contacts and goodwill at this time. Your personal magnetism was also at its peak. That is why even if you felt let down, you were able to wriggle out of situations. I think you also needed to seek divine intervention and you needed to carry on. Maybe the work environment or even the environment at home was a bit negative and oppressive for you. Even if there were roadblocks and interruptions, even if there were changes, you were able to accomplish what you set out to do. Obstacles to overcome or the challenges this month is the Queen of Swords. With two queens in your reading, straight away I'm picking up that you will be dealing with females. I think you're also someone who has a no-nonsense approach. Maybe you need to keep to yourself. Maybe you should also use your body language as a weapon to put your point across. Tact and diplomacy is the need of the hour. Even if there are changes, even if there are meetings which are preponed, you will have to be accommodating, you will have to adjust. Influences for this month, I do have the Eight of Swords. Now this lady, she seems to be encircled by swords. It's not a happy position to be in. Maybe you are going to be under pressure. Maybe people are also sharpening knives behind your back. It could be a trying time for you this September, but then you're also someone who can use your abilities to good effect. Perhaps you will make concessions at work. Maybe you're also going to use guile and impersonation to your advantage. I think you can compel yourself to complete what you set out to do. Maybe you will also find yourself in situations where clients expect your good opinion, but they fail to give you remuneration. Communication is also going to bring in opportunities, so you should make the most of your creative side, which will be appreciated. Besides, you're able to finish tasks at great speed. Even if you make your way for an interview, there could be too many questions asked, not go down well with you. Maybe you will decline this offer. Incidentally, with this card, I'm also picking up that you could be socializing. Aura cleansing will also benefit Scorpions. The first 10 days of the month, I do have the World card. Overall contentment can be expected. I think you will complete what you set out to do. Work is also going to proceed well. Even if there are challenges, I think you will do the needful. While working at the computer also, I think you need to be a bit more cautious because you could delete important data. Maybe there's also someone who's trying to undermine your position at work or in your personal life, but you're going to have your supporters who are going to put this person in her place. That is why she's going to back off. I think you're getting the support which you need. You also need to work on your body language. Maybe you should come across as someone who is a bit business-like. In personal relationships also, nip issues in the bud rather than allow them to snowball into big arguments. The next 10 days, that is 11 to 20th September, is the 10 of Swords. Now, this lady, she seems to be someone whose back is completely bent. Maybe you're going to be exhausted, overworked. That is why you're going to feel tired and worn out. You may feel helpless because your family does encounter a lot of problems. Maybe you're also a bit frustrated because your instincts are ignored by those whom you care about. Colleagues may also be absent at this time. That is why you have to take the onus. Incidentally, you could also be dealing with a person who is very devious, who is very clever. I think your decisions regarding your career could also be questioned by your loved ones. Maybe you feel that everything in your life is cyclic, that you're back to square one. Some of you want to travel out of town for higher education or for better opportunities, but your loved ones think that you're being unreasonable because financially they are not in a position to support you. I think you need to stay motivated even if you feel worthless. The tide certainly turns. Those of you who are already employed, I think you'll make gains, but it seems inadequate. Maybe you could also find yourself at the receiving end. Your superior could blame you for decisions. These are things that you need to tackle in a very calm manner, but then you could also be someone who could want to tell it like it is. The final days of the month, that is 21st to 30th September, is the Four of Cups. Now, this lady, she seems to be very distraught. She is not showing her face, or even if she is showing her face, she is looking downwards as if dejected. You are dealing with two-faced people. Your emotions could rock your calm spirit. I think you also need to be careful because people are two-faced. They could backtrack from what they have promised you. Someone will come to your aid, but do keep in mind, Scorpions, that people could also question your decisions. Maybe they think that you're making off with money. A question of ethics could also arise. This puts you in a spot of bother, but you can come out of the situation, so keep your chin up. Outstation work offers will also be there, but then they may not excite you. In this time also, I think if plan A doesn't work, then you have to rethink your moves and go with plan B. So be prepared for that. I think you should push yourself. You should pull up your socks, motivate yourself throughout this month, especially from 21st to the 30th of September, and carry on. Because at times, you may lack the drive, you may not want to complete the task, but then that is exactly what is required from you. From the Kipper deck, I do have this card, Privileged Lady. I think you could be sought after. Maybe you're also going to be seen as someone who has good connections. You could be having a social standing, or you could also be dealing with someone who could be a benefactor. This lady could help you out. Like I said, you could be dealing with females, but you also need to be careful because two queens also means betrayal is also on the cards. With those swords, it is implying the same. From Lenormand, I do have the card Bear, and this bear is holding on to a fish. Likewise, I think you need to look into material needs, your material needs. You're also someone who needs to control your temper. Another message here is Wisdom, Wake Up Call 555. Maybe you're going to be communicating with others. It's also time to move in a new direction. You could be confused, you could be baffled, perplexed with respect to your decisions personally as well as professionally, but the universe is asking you to get up before it's too late. Get a hold on your temperament, get a hold on the choices that you make, because opportunities don't come twice. With respect to your love life, I do have some cards. It says here, limitations, impediments, roadblocks, outside influences. This could have a bearing on your relationship. You do want contentment with the World card. Maybe it's the completion of a cycle. Some of you want to break free because your family members would be imposing certain limitations. Maybe your friends feel that your relationship will not work. That is why you need to safeguard your relationship from the evil eye. There are people who are not too happy with your growing attachment with someone. Maybe that is why you feel distraught, even with the Four of Cups. Physical distance could also come about in a relationship. Maybe your person is traveling on account of work. That could also be the case. Maybe you feel that communication could become a thing of the past. I do have the card, please stay. So some of you have to bear with this. Some of you may want to move away from an existing relationship because you feel it's over and done with. But one of you is still holding on to the connection for sure. There are people from the opposite sex who will try to impress you this month. Maybe they fancy you, that is why they're going to try to oblige you. Those of you who are romancing, I think you can expect happiness in your relationship with the card bliss. The heavens are also blessing this union, but you also need to understand that there are limitations which need to be overcome. Your person is going to be rock solid in your hour of need. He is going to help you with respect to work. I also believe that some of you could be persuasive. Maybe the person whom you fancy is not responsive. That is why you think this relationship is not going to work. There could be exchange of messages, but then this person, like I said, may not wear his heart on his sleeve. That is why you feel this relationship is done and dusted. The last card in this reading is from the Butterfly Oracle deck. It says healthcare change. I think you need to focus on your health, your fitness. I think some of you could be suffering from issues related to the stomach. It could be digestive system related issues. You also need to be careful because there's a chance that you could trip and fall this month. Body aches is also very likely, maybe a backache with that Ten of Swords. There's a lot of drama this month, so Scorpions, you need to follow your instinct, your intuitive personalities. That can only help you overcome the challenges that September poses in your life. I hope Scorpions you liked your reading. This is Star with Ariana Stark. Do give us your feedback in the comment section. This is Ariana Stark signing off. Take care. Bye. Till the next time.